Imagine cruising. More than just a cruise. Visit imaginecruising.co.uk now to find your dream holiday.
Hi, welcome to A Week in Weatherfield, the Coronation Street review show presented by two people who can't wait to see the stuffed weasel on the wall of David's barbershop. I'm David Brown.
And I'm Simon Timblick.
This week's headlines: the wrath of Rita.
What happened to Liz?
And Shona, the drugs mule. Well, first up, a new face in the studio. We've got Simon Timblick here with us this week because Johnny is off. He's been kidnapped by Paul and Gemma. He's been
in the back of their grubby white van. Yeah.
But he will be back at some point in the future once he's released.
But he may not be the first person to have taken a ride in that grubby white van this week.
No, more anon. Yeah, we'll be back to that in a little while, indeed. First of all, we are going to be talking about Rita, cabin queen Rita,
yes,
who handed in her keys, threw them at Brian Packham, only to be reinstalled as manager later on in the week.
Well, she had a right old rant this week, didn't she, about someone's going to try and teach me how to suck eggs. He can go whistle.
Yeah. My favourite moment was when she lambasted Kathy and said, pals wouldn't treat each other like this, which reminded me of a famous Coronation Street clip which I showed you just before we came.
That's good.
It's a very good clip. It's from the mid-90s. Look it up. When Bet first left in '95, she had a big row with Rita in the cabin because Rita wouldn't give her the cash to buy the Rovers, and Bet accused Rita of being a fair weather friend and shouted pals at Rita, and I think the writer was doing a bit of an homage to that this week.
Pals, and check out the Pals video remix as well because that's quite funny. That's an added bonus. But I think that Kathy and Brian should have done a thorough check of the stock available in the cabin before they signed on the dotted line.
Why
because when Rita was having a bit of a rant on the phone about Norris,
yes,
I spotted in the background a very, very old Mariah Carey album, Music Box from 1993, on the shelf behind Rita, still for sale.
You'd have thought she'd have the latest Brits nominees or something like that, but no, what's going on there?
Yes, have you got that album, David, Music Box?
No. Have
you? Possibly. But yeah, check that the stock is updated before you sign on the dotted line. That's
Goodness knows what the magazines are like then.
Oh, the glossies, yeah.
Yeah, I think that what Rita needs to have really, now that she's manager, is a Brian-proof lock on those sweetie jars. Otherwise, her stock is going to be depleted in no time. But what would Rita do if she had have left? How would she have spent her retirement? Do you think?
Well, I feel like we've sort of been here a little bit before because obviously the cabin's been bought by Vic Reeves, and there was another time where I think Rita went travelling, didn't she?
Yes.
And she came back and she felt a bit displaced.
That's right.
But I'm guessing she would possibly, I don't know, might read some romance novels and do a bit of light jazz on the gramophone as she was doing in one of the episodes this week.
I think she just swung around giving people advice.
Or whacking people with her handbag as she did with Paul's van.
Yes, she did.
Get her off.
All right. Yeah. Do you want to come back? But yeah, that happened to me back in 1975. That's that's always with Rita, isn't it? She's always the voice of experience.
She's got the vaults of the knowledge of Weatherfield.
She really has.
Yes.
Well, another stalwart of the show who was kind of going through a bit of a torrid time of it was something that you alluded to at the top there, which was Liz bundled into the back of Gemma and Paul's van. Or was she?
I got very confused about this because Gemma and Paul were sort of acting very shifty throughout the sort of double episode.
Yeah.
And then it sort of turned out. So we're supposed to feel they'd kidnapped her.
That was the impression that I got, definitely.
And then she was just like on an EasyJet plane to Spain.
Yeah.
So I got a bit confused about that, so I wasn't quite sure.
So was Liz kind of like a willing captive? You know, I mean, because when Gemma was going, drive, it was almost like Liz was being held against her will and they had to kind of hightail it out of Weatherfield for fear of being discovered by the police. But then it seemed that Liz was perfectly up for kind of having this jaunt overseas. It seemed really strange to me. I didn't get it.
Another thing that occurs to me is how often soap characters so easily sort of book flights and just drop everything and go.
That is
What
true.
about their jobs? What about their responsibilities? I mean...
And those costs of late flights can be quite expensive, but it seems like money's no object.
No money.
Yeah. So she didn't even have time to change out of her purple sparkly leggings, did she? They wouldn't. It's been really hot in Spain.
Were they a particular favourite of yours in Liz's vape?
Yeah, oh yes, that's right, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
What a wardrobe.
What a wardrobe.
What a woman. Anyway, on to the final storyline of the week. This was fresh drama for Shona, who was summoned to... No, she actually went voluntarily to the jail, didn't she, to tell Clayton that his dad had died.
She'd read about it in the Weatherfield Gazette.
Yeah, Clayton, who looks like Craterface from Greece, I always think, so I'm immediately against him for that.
Is he in Greece too as well?
He's in both of them, yeah. But he races Danny Zuko for pink slips. I like the fact that with Shona and David, they're not having them cheat on each other. They're finding stories to do with this horrible thing in their past, the fact that Clayton killed Kylie. Do you agree?
I agree, and I love what I love about Corrie. I do love the comedy, but I do like it when it then sort of veers back into sort of the dark stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously the return of Clayton kind of stirs up all the stuff that's happened for David in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that we're sort of revisiting that and what it could possibly mean for them as a couple. I mean, it's always going to be something that's between them, isn't it? The fact that her son killed his wife. Yeah, so yeah, I like the fact that that's kind of resurfaced.
And it's left us with a bit of a cliffhanger because who is the hooded intruder at the door?
Is it Gail? She forgot her keys. Who is it?
It's Gail out in the rain in David's hoodie.
David!
Yeah. Callum back from the dead? That I'd like to see.
Well, I mean, who else has got access to the Platt's house from the last 59 years?
Yeah. Richard Hillman, the ghost of Hillman. We shall see.
So that will be revealed next week, hopefully.
Well, I hope so. Yes. There's no more time to discuss it, though, now, because we're off to our high-intensity exercise class with Emma.
Oh, we signed up. Yes.
How are you going to be with that, Si?
I imagine I'll probably last less than 5 minutes.
Really? It's half an hour, though. What are you going to do? It's going to be awful.
Let's give it a go.
We'll be back in 7 days' time with another week in Weatherfield.
Escape the drama with Imagine Cruising. Visit imaginecruising.co.uk now to find your dream holiday.